So I think it's safe to say after watching Abdul Carter's tape against the Los Angeles Chargers and even some of the snaps over the course of this season, I think it's safe to say this is one of the best edge players in the NFL. I think he's one of the top 10 defensive ends right now, and obviously against the Chargers, he played every single snap at that edge position, and we are seeing plays like this one right here that it just shows you what an elite football player looks like. Think about this play right here. Number 44, the fullback, has a very, very basic block on Abdul Carter. Now, this is obviously going to be a play action bootleg to the left of your screen, and Carter's going to beat this fullback, but he doesn't just beat this guy. He doesn't even touch him with his hands, right? He is so elite with the movement that he doesn't have to touch this guy. He literally steps right, dips that shoulder, essentially just makes number 44 miss here. And with that, he's going to get a quarterback hit, and he's going to disrupt this play. But this is some of what Abdul Carter can do, and what's crazy is he's been doing this over the course of this season, but he's finally starting to play mostly on the edge. I think if the Giants stick with that strategy, by the end of the season, most people are going to say this is one of the best 3 to 5 pass rushers in the NFL. And again, we're going to get into multiple plays against the Los Angeles Chargers, just movement, disruption, getting after the quarterback, impacting plays. This is 3rd and 5 right here. The score is 10-0 at this point. The Chargers have a pretty solid drive, driving all the way downfield. They're at the 15-yard line, and Abdul Carter shuts it down. Abdul Carter ends up running a defensive line game here with Thibodeaux. And Thibodeaux is going to be on the inside. He's going to do a really nice job taking on the 2 guys as he slants outside. So you guys can watch this here in slow motion. Thibodeaux, phenomenal job going outside. Takes on the 2 guys. I think Thibodeaux does a really nice job on this defensive line game because I think he does it the right way. Sometimes when these guys run games, what they do is they try to hit in the inside shoulder of this offensive tackle. But by attacking the inside of this tackle, what could happen is the guard can essentially let that first man go and then come back on the looping defender. But how Thibodeaux does it is he's going to attack the outside arm of Zion Johnson, the left guard here. And what that does is if you attack the outside here, the guard cannot properly pass this off to the offensive tackle. It just makes it that much easier for when 51 comes around. Because if the guard does let go of Thibodeaux on this one, and he does pick up Carter, well, regardless of that, the left tackle is not in a good spot, so the left tackle would not be able to make the play. Also, Thibodeaux does do a pretty good job holding. You teach it this way where you're going to attack that outside shoulder of the guard, inside shoulder of the tackle. But then you also want to hold these guys, and you can see he does a pretty nice job holding. That's a really good job right there by Abdul Carter. 3rd and 5 ends up getting that hit on the quarterback. And just like that, you're flipping the momentum of this game. And of course, this video is not to talk about Thibodeaux, but we should just give a huge shout out to him because the guy's taken a massive leap this year. People are calling this guy a bust. And he's starting to actually look like a guy that was picked in the top 5 picks. The guy's so quick, he's so explosive, and you're seeing that movement as well by Thibodeaux. You see on this one, he just straight up chops the left guard, and he's won essentially, right? This right here is a winning rep for Thibodeaux. But of course, Carter's going to run that game, and both Thibodeaux and Carter end up kind of getting to the quarterback at that same time. But again, this guy deserves a lot of credit for the development that he has made. And again, the Giants, it's a good problem to have, but they might lose Thibodeaux because of the fact that they might not be able to pay every single one of these defensive linemen. This defensive line that the Giants have right now is truly, truly, truly elite. And sometimes when you have that good of a unit, you're not going to be able to pay every single one of these guys. But we'll see what the Giants end up doing as they kind of go forward. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. So you're going to get a 3rd and 5 on this one. And Carter, once again, is going to run a defensive line game. He's going to end up looping around, and it'll be Burns who's going to jump this gap here, right? So Burns is going to go first. Carter's going to come second. And once again, just look at the bend, the quickness, the twitchiness by number 51 on this one. I mean, you have almost no shot to block this. It is a very, very, very difficult to stop these defensive line games. And I'm not surprised teams are struggling with this. I think based off of watching this game against the Chargers and some of the games in the past, I think they may have actually figured out how to basically be unblockable. Right? Run these defensive line games with obviously Thibodeaux, you got Carter, you got Burns, and then on the inside you obviously have one of the best D tackles in the NFL in Lawrence. But this play right here is just a really good job, and this was 3rd and 5 right here. And the quarterback does complete the pass, but again, you see Carter with that quickness, that movement. But I think more impressive than that play for me was a little bit later on in the game. It was 2nd and 6, and there was about 45 seconds left before the second quarter ended. Now keep in mind the score's 3-13 at this point. The Chargers are trying to score a touchdown. They're trying to get into this position where they can go into the half with some sort of momentum. And what's going to end up happening is Abdul Carter's going to shut it down. Again, back-to-back plays, just a phenomenal job by Carter to be able to get to the quarterback. So this is going to be the first play here. Just look at how quickly he beats the left tackle on this one. And I understand this is the backup left tackle at this point. Joel obviously ended up getting hurt. But just think about this play right here. The quarterback is going to get the ball. And watch the quarterback steps. He's going to get the ball. He's going to take one step. And as soon as he takes one step, Abdul Carter's already won his rep. And Carter's already in the backfield. This movement right here by this guy is absolutely incredible. And, I'll just say it. I think he's already the Giants' best edge player that they have. And I think Burns is a great football player. Thibodeau's looking really, really good as well. But Carter's is different, man. This is literally Micah Parsons. And with Parsons, he started doing this right away in his rookie season as well. And I know some people are not going to give Carter the credit because he is still a rookie, and people have this bias of show us for a couple years before we start kind of ranking you as that type of player. I'm telling you guys, this guy's definitely one of the elite players. Now, this one was 2nd and 6, incomplete pass on 3rd and 6. He's going to end up lining up on the other side against the right tackle. And once again, you just see the quickness. You just see the elite movement. And on this one here, it is a defensive line game, and he's going to be the first one to go with Burns coming second and looping to the outside. But, just look at the play here. And then, the right tackle here is a pretty good right tackle. Right? He's a guy that's played a lot of tackle in the NFL. Again, the move by Carter. Outside, comes back inside, swipes with the right hand, left arm comes over the top, and he's in position to win here. There's literally nothing you can do as an offensive tackle if you're going up against that type of movement. And again, he's already on the inside of the right tackle, so he's already won the rep. So all the right guard can really do is just kind of let Burns go and try to stop Carter. He's double teamed, he's almost held, but Burns goes free because of Carter. And Carter obviously still gets the pressure on the quarterback. But this is the impact that this guy's having. And again, also think about this. If you're an offense and you're designing certain concepts, like let's say you want to take a shot play downfield, maybe you design some sort of Yankee concept or some sort of scissors concept. And let's say with that, you're trying to throw the ball 15, 20 yards downfield. Well, the offensive line has to hold up. And right now, that's not happening because guys like Carter are getting in there so damn fast, so damn quick. He's basically unblockable. And this is what the Giants are getting with a guy like Carter. Now, I think Carter was the best player that came out of this past draft class, and I'm not surprised that we're seeing this type of impact this early on. Now, another thing with Carter that we have to recognize is he has a ton of different pass rush moves. It's not just like the movement this guy has. Like, he has a legit spin move, as you guys are going to see on this one, and it's set up perfectly as well. So don't overlook the spin move on this. As soon as this guy gets out of his stance, he's going to almost fake like I'm going to go to the inside to start this. And then he's going to try going outside, and the tackle thinks this is an outside move at this point. Right? So he starts inside on the actual angle that he's getting out of his stance. Then he's going to go outside. He's going to give the left arm to the offensive tackle. But really, it's a spin move back to the inside. And he wins that damn quickly. Again, this is impressive. And again, he has multiple pass rush moves that he goes to. We've already seen him, swipe, swim. We've already seen him spin. We've seen this guy's movement where he just jumps inside or jumps outside. And you're going to see on this one, he's going to just go straight to a speed rush. Think about this play right here and what he does against this offensive tackle. He's going to start inside, but he's going to just quickly explode outside, and then he's going to beat the tackle so damn fast. The tackle literally has no shot to win on this one. Again, let's slow it down, and let's just watch how Abdul Carter is going to set the pass rush up. So as soon as the ball is going to get snapped here, Abdul Carter is actually going to take an inside step on this. So you're going to see him start inside, and then he's going to put that left foot into the ground. And look at him jump outside, and from there, it's just a sprint. And the offensive tackle just misses his punch, and the quarterback goes down. Now, I really feel like the New York Giants defensive line won this game for them against the Chargers. Thibodeau had some nice plays. Burns, Lawrence had some nice plays as well, as did some of the linebackers. But the pressure, right? The fact that the offensive lineman just couldn't block these guys up front. It was a really, really impressive day. And again, you got plays even like this where Carter just flashes every single different pass rush move you can think of. Now, the last one where we saw him lined up over here and he spun to the inside, that one looks a little bit different than this one. If you guys want to go back and actually watch that clip, it looks different. On this one here, Carter's going to actually get the right hand a lot more into this offensive tackle. It doesn't look as clean, in my opinion, on this one. Right? He looks to spin better from the right side than he does on the left side, which isn't a big deal, right? It's like little development things. The more he does this from the left side, just the quicker he'll get over time. But you just see the fact that this guy has so many different pass rush moves in his toolbox. And majority of NFL defensive linemen don't have that. All right, like Carter has flashed more moves in 4 games than guys like Trayvon Walker, Tyree Wilson, Lucas Van Ness. There's so many guys in the NFL that just don't have the type of pass rush skills, right? The pass rush toolbox that Carter has. Here, he's going to just hezzy and beat the center super quickly. We had seen him do this a couple times in preseason, right? Hezzy right, hezzy left. Which way am I going? Fake. And then bam, just right punch, left arm comes over the top. That's hard to block, man. I don't know how else to say this, but if you ISO out Abdul Carter in a one-on-one situation, there's just not a lot of guys that can block this guy. I do want to just show you guys a couple snaps from some previous games because he had some really nice plays in terms of like the actual pass rush. Here's one where he's going to end up in a one-on-one against Trey Smith, and he beats him pretty quickly. Right, he is in some sort of rush contained situation because he doesn't pass rush right away. Not 100% sure, but he does at some point lock in with Trey Smith, and he beats him pretty quickly. Again, Trey Smith, all pro type of offensive lineman, and Abdul Carter's blowing him up. On this one here, he's lined up as a linebacker. He's going to come up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to swim right over Creed Humphrey. Now, before we move forward, I want to just take the next 60 seconds to talk to you guys about today's sponsor, ProfitX. This is America's #1 sports prediction market. ProfitX is peer-to-peer, so you'll be playing against real users as opposed to traditional sports books where you'll be playing against the house. This means that ProfitX is going to give you much better odds. If you guys want to make picks on the NFL, ProfitX has you covered. But if you're like me and you want to make picks on multiple other sports, ProfitX has you taken care of there as well. From the Ryder Cup to the Premier League, ProfitX has pretty much every major sport. And one of my favorite parts about this platform is that if the odds don't already exist that you want on any given player, you can basically just request it. ProfitX will make it happen. And if you use my link to go sign up right now, ProfitX is going to give you $200 in free money. For every dollar that you put into ProfitX, they will essentially match it. So make sure you guys go check out the link down in the comments below. Let's get right back into the content. On this one here, he's lined up as a linebacker. He's going to come up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to swim right over Creed Humphrey. Again, all pro center, and he's going to blow it up. Very, very impressive play once again by Carter. And again, this guy's been doing this over the first couple of games that he's played. But I will say this, I think the Giants should put this guy as an edge player, and he should play every snap as an edge. I understand that he can be disruptive playing linebacker as well, but it's just a different type of position. And I understand you can always put him on the line of scrimmage like this on 3rd and 6. But again, I just think it's better if you just line him up on the outside and you let him just get straight to the quarterback. The disruption that this guy can cause and force, lining up in a one-on-one situation where he can, he can look at the football, he can take off as soon as the ball snapped, and he doesn't have to think about being a linebacker. I think the New York Giants should just go forward with it. A couple more plays that I want to show you guys. On this one here, he's going to end up going up against Terrence Steele. He's going to beat him pretty quickly, generates pressure on the quarterback. Quarterback does take off running. It is an incomplete pass. On this one here, he's going to end up beating Tyler Guy into the inside. This matchup's one of the matchups I'm going to be looking forward to watching for a really, really long time. I think Guyton's a really good offensive tackle. I think Abdul Carter's a great, absolute great Hall of Fame caliber defensive end. You got one more that I want to show you guys here. He's going to end up coming on a blitz, beats the center, pressures the quarterback into a bad pass, and this one's going to get intercepted. Again, the type of impact that Abdul Carter has is phenomenal. And I'm really excited to see what this guy can develop into. When he's in year 2 or year 3, what does this guy become? Micah Parsons actually had tweeted that he thinks Abdul Carter could be the greatest edge player out of Penn State. All right, he thinks he could be better than himself, and there's definitely a chance that he is. And I only say that because he has more pass rush moves than a guy like Parsons did when he came out. I think Abdul Carter's much further ahead. The movement's, very similar. The pass rush skills, I think, is a lot better. I'm excited as hell to see what this Giants defensive line kind of turns into. Abdul Carter is an absolute superstar caliber player. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do plan to do more Giants content on this channel this season. So let me know which players you guys want to see me break down. Thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.